Something you have to take my word on is please don't stress out. My wife and I stressed out a ton when we were moving down. And what we found is Los Angeles is not like any other place you've lived before unless you lived in New York City. There are constantly people moving in and out. So just make sure you're checking daily, even hourly if you have to. Something will come up. People's living circumstances are changing all the time. Look, Los Angeles, especially LA County, is a county of 13 million people. There are people constantly moving, and there will be a place for you that's within your budget. You just have to keep looking. If there is a phone number for the listing that you like, don't email them or text them. Call these people, right? Make sure that you stand out. If it's a good deal, they're probably getting 100 emails a day, 40 texts a day. Make sure you stand out. Call these people, all right? Make sure that you set up an appointment as soon as you can, and make sure that there is somebody that can physically show you the place, okay? If they are currently out of town, or they just want you to look at the 3D walkthrough of the place, just find a different place, okay? Scams definitely exist. Even on reputable sites, there are still scams on there. So just make sure you talk to somebody over the phone and you get to meet somebody at the place and actually physically get to go in and look at the place, okay? Don't get desperate, but if the place is legitimate, make sure you are prepared to act. Like I mentioned earlier, if it's a good deal, and you found it online, guess what? Everyone else is thinking the exact same thing. So once you find a place that fits all the criteria you're looking for, make sure you don't drag your feet because somebody will come get it. I can't tell you the number of times we went to view a place that we found online only to be getting there right after another couple was leaving, or right after we viewed it, another couple was coming to see it. Okay, so, and honestly, it was literally, I think every single time it was a place that we found online that we thought was a pretty good deal, we were coming and going, passing someone else who was viewing the property. So that's why I suggest, make sure you're looking at things besides conventional means, because you might be surprised that you're not competing against the same number of people if you just see, a physical for rent sign on the property. Okay, let's raise the stakes a little bit from $1,500. Let's say your budget is $1,800. Where should you be looking to live? Some really great areas that you might want to check out are Culver City or North Inglewood near the Fox Hills Mall. These are places that are up and coming, easy access to the freeways, very close proximity to a lot of the places you'd probably be working that are either in Santa Monica or Beverly Hills or Mid-City, or just really anywhere over West Hollywood, West LA. Torrance is a great family-friendly area with a lot of great Asian restaurants. There's a huge Asian population there, so you'll never lack for good Asian food from around the world. And lastly, take a look at Downey. It is another one of those places that has rapidly grown and improved over the last few years. And it's, again, just a really safe, family-friendly area, a lot going on in the area, and still kind of built for budget-conscious people. If you must live near where you're going to be doing shoots and filming, Sherman Oaks is a good place. A little bit more high-end, not quite like Encino, but it's still going to be in proximity on the other side of the mountain range in the San Fernando Valley. It's going to give you an opportunity to live in a place that's pretty nice, but also be in relative proximity to where you want to work, which is in Burbank and Van Nuys. And I just want to let you know that my perspective is coming from being a happily married man trying to avoid living in the dense metropolis and being in a place that doesn't have a lot of homeless people, that I deem to be car friendly and, like I said, just overall safe in general. Your perspective or what you're looking for in your Los Angeles experience may vary widely from what I'm suggesting, but if you're looking for something that's kind of more traditional to what you grew up with, more toward the suburban end, then you definitely want to trust my recommendations on this. Up until this point, I've talked strictly about pricing and place to live if you're looking to live by yourself, which is what 99% of people in this world want. They don't want to be living with strangers. However, Los Angeles is not for the faint of heart, and oftentimes it may make more sense to stretch your budget a little bit and be able to live in a nicer area. That may entail living with roommates. Remember that if you're living with roommates, they will oftentimes begin as complete strangers, and so you need to be a little judicious in the way that you choose a place to live. I will argue that I think it is a very, very good option if you're single and you're on a really tight budget, you're not really sure what to expect, and you don't want to commit to a 12-month lease. This can be a really good option for you. Probably only like 1 out of 50 listings for room rents or apartment shares allow or are willing to entertain the idea of a couple. That doesn't mean it's impossible. We're talking like it's very few and far between, and it'll always come with an additional charge for that second person. That there will be a premium that you have to pay if you're looking to live with your spouse or another friend and rent a room together. A lot of places will typically ask for females only, which is a plus if you're a girl. If you're not, it just means you have to look a little bit harder most of the time. Also, keep in mind that if you're renting a room in someone else's house, you do not get to make the rules. It is California after all, and so you'll likely see on a large number of the listings that they are 420 friendly or a number of other things. If you're concerned that some of these extracurricular activities may come billowing under your door at 3 a.m. in the morning, just keep that in mind and maybe don't get too excited about the price or the location before you get a chance to meet all the roommates in the home and make your decision from that. Just like the old adage, you get what you pay for. The higher you're paying for a room, the likelihood it's in a better/safer area, and the quality of the tenants that are living there are going to be higher, and you're not going to have any drama with these people. What I will say is for $1,000, it is totally possible to expect to find a room for rent with a shared bathroom in a safe neighborhood that you want to live in. That is not out of the realm of possibility for you to find something in this price range. And if we're using that budget of $1,500, it is totally conceivable to find a room in Santa Monica with a shared bathroom, sometimes even a master in an area near the beach. You're going to be sharing a kitchen, you're going to be sharing other parts of the home, but you can definitely live in a really nice part of town in a private room for under $1,500. Honestly, I think I've seen just about every kind of sublet there is imaginable, from people renting broken down RVs in their backyard to people putting up those kind of like Japanese paper dividers to divide off part of a living room to give you a private room. So just know, private room does not mean the same to someone else as it might mean to you. Just check out the situation for yourself. You might be pleasantly surprised. Something that may not look as desirable might end up being more desirable than you think. And oftentimes these places will be month to month or just a short term, maybe 3-month commitment. And so you have an opportunity to get your feet wet, sort it out for yourself, and that again will buy you even more time to look for a permanent place for yourself. Another great option is see if you can find someone who needs someone to take over the lease for them on short notice, or somebody that might be relocating for a job for just a few months and want somebody to cover a majority of their rent while they move to some other state or out of the country for a particular job. Again, you might be pleasantly surprised at the deal you can get. And not only that, oftentimes these places will come furnished with somebody else's nice furniture in there, so you can move with next to nothing and you can still have the opportunity to live in a nice place without spending a ton of money on furniture and bedding and kitchenware, etc. Oh, that does lead me to my next and most important point, possibly for most people out there, is please don't bring a U-Haul with all your stuff to California. As I mentioned previously, people are moving in and out of California and Los Angeles in particular constantly. You can get furniture for ridiculously low prices if you look hard enough. When colleges are getting out for the summer, especially around like USC or UCLA, these rich college kids, they're dumping their furniture for next to nothing in May. Next to nothing. Oftentimes you could go by the dumpsters and find like stuff that should be in a consignment shop just being thrown away for free. Same thing goes for trash nights in Beverly Hills or Brentwood. People throw out high-end furniture that might have a little stain on it because they don't want to have the hassle of dealing with selling it, and they'll just throw it away. You can get the stuff for free, but even if not, you can go on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and find furniture for incredible prices that is right around the corner. Instead of having to haul your stuff from Missouri all the way to California, you can get the stuff for probably half the price, and it's right here. When we moved down to Southern California, we brought a bed, we brought couches, we brought one chair that we really liked. We furnished the remainder of our house from Craigslist. I don't even think OfferUp we were using at the time, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. If we had known what we knew now, we would have come with absolutely nothing. We would have just come with just ourselves, and we could have got everything within a week or 2 weeks, which is what we ended up doing anyways. All right, if you made it this far and you're just looking for some quick takeaways and maxims from Eric to help you with your big move, here you go. Number 1, try to live as close to where you'll be working. I can't stress that enough. Traffic will kill you and make your experience in Los Angeles terrible. You'll regret it every day that you're here if you have a long commute to work. Number 2, learn a little bit of Spanish. I'm just kidding, but seriously, like if you learn a little bit of Spanish, it'll make your experience more enjoyable. Just being able to order food, if that's all you can do, it'll just make living in Los Angeles a little bit more fun. Number 3, don't pack too much. You can get literally everything you could ever want within a 30-mile radius of wherever you choose to live. Number 4, don't expect a conventional living situation until you're making pretty good money. Number 5, Compton is not the hood anymore, okay? There is definitely hood, but I showed you in my no-go zone. Compton's not it. Number 6, an avocado a day keeps heart disease away. And avocados are cheap when you come to California. They're not $1.50 from wherever you're from. You can get them in a bag at the 99-cent store, like 6 for $2. It's awesome. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Like I said, if you heard something in this video and you're a local to Los Angeles and you think I am totally wrong, that's fine. It's not me that needs to be corrected. Just go ahead and leave a comment that might help somebody else. This video is not for me. This video is for other people who don't know a lot about Los Angeles, who are looking to make that move. And any additional information we can provide together as a community is going to make the experience for other people better. And if you want to join my wife and I and see all of our adventures, go ahead and sub to her channel. She covers everything we do outside of living in California, all of the adventures around the world that we've been on. We would really appreciate the support. I know she would. And as always, guys, stay safe out there. Don't get discouraged. God bless and have a great day.